Well, I think if you take, isn't it if you take the overtime though, they give you a lump sum of it up front first, right? And then you get the rest over however many years.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I would do, me personally, I would do the get my partial lump sum and then get the rest over time.
Why? Can you expound on that?
I don't, because I feel like a lot of people, I want to continue the wealth. I don't want to just, because you, at the end of the day, some people don't know themselves, and I know myself enough now where I'd be like, I always want to have a backup reserve somehow, some way, right? One thing in the military, doing the military for 20 years, as long as you came in during the high three term, you have a pension early in life for the rest of your life, and you can pass it on to your kids or your family for so many years afterwards. So it's the same concept. I'll take some of that lump sum. Obviously, I do something smart with it, invest, whatever. But then I want, I still want to be able to, you can mark off how much you get for however many years for the rest of your life. So at least by then you get your first set of lump sum. You done built the foundation. Now you continue to add onto that foundation of what are based off your lump sum that you get for the rest of your life. Or however you break that percentage up. I think you break it up by percentages of how much you get for so long or whatever, depending on how much you win.
Well,
But that's what I would do.
the reason why I want to disagree with this, and I'll just take the whole lump sum and hit that good old tax and get it out the way, is due to the fact that you don't know you don't know how long you're gonna live here. All that stuff you talked about is if you take the lump sum in one go, right? You can do all that stuff you really talked about. You can set up generational wealth. There are different things and trust you can set up to where no one or a specific person can touch those trusts and change them and get a certain amount of money every month push.
I mean, I understand that. There's this interview I watched with his dad. He basically was like, all his kids have to have prenups so they don't get any of his money.
Yeah.
I was like,
And
yo, that's crazy work.
at the end of the day, you got to look at it. That's a great
So
idea.
yeah,
That's a great idea.
yeah.
Hey, you got to get a prenup because you don't know who's coming into the family. And even if, and that's another thing to talk about, I don't really see anything wrong with prenups.
I don't either. I don't think there's anything wrong with them. Personally, I don't have one, but I don't think there's anything wrong with a prenup. It's kind of basically just saying what you came in with is what you leave with, or what I came in with is what
Yeah.
I leave with. You know what I mean? That's pretty much said and done. At the end of the day, I don't disagree with what you're saying. I guess in my head, looking at it, I'm thinking of longevity. But yes, you could, based off, take the lump sum, get all your taxes pulled now, so then now you know how much you got, and then you could set it up to where, yeah, every year, say if you want, the big one, you want $10 billion or whatever.
Yeah. To break you down roughly, because, I'm going to tell you this. The part that people don't, the reason why people most of the time don't want to take the lump sum is because of the jump of how much they're going to take. Right? Because say you said 10 billion, they're going to roughly take you down to maybe, if I'm doing the math right, which I'll probably be off by a little bit. So out of that 10 billion, you'll roughly maybe get 4 billion
But
and some change.
but I mean, that's still life-changing money. That's enough to,
Exactly.
what I'm
That's what I'm
saying?
talking
Like,
about. And a lot of people don't want to take the lump sum because of, oh, well, they're going to tax it to God and country.
well,
At the
they
end
have
of the
to,
day, if you take it over 30 years, you're still going to get taxed to God and
yeah.
country,
And
regardless, because you're going to
actually,
be in a new tax bracket.
now that I remember, I think you're basically getting taxed more because you're getting taxed every year by just one time.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. I would
but
literally put it in a trust or talk to a financial counselor, see what I can do, set up what I'm going to set up for everybody that I want to set up money for, and then go from there.
I think the first thing I do, I think legit first thing I would do, I wouldn't tell nobody. I would call a financial advisor and be like, hey, I'm going to put this up safety. I need to go on vacation for 2 weeks somewhere remote
Just to
and
sit back and think.
just to sit back and think before I go make any move. It's sad to say this. Literally, the only person who probably know would probably be my wife and my son. That's it. Hey, look, this is what just happened. I don't need your say anybody. Quit your job. We need to just go somewhere for 2 weeks. I don't care if July missed school, but we need to go. I need to figure this out. And, you know what I'm saying?
Didn't
Because
even think about it.
as soon as people find out you got money, their mentality changes for you, and they're gonna try and find a way to weed money off of you, bro.
And with it being
Like
said, people try
oh,
to make money off That half was strong. Parties in third grade and stuff like that. What my school did. My cheeseburgers, 30 hot dogs, and a barrel.
Feels good to be here. Still got a lot of goals and stuff. I'm about to retire. I don't. It's not there, and I don't. Right now, and I'm on the grind. You know what I mean? So.
We are back to the Grumpy Gills. We're not called podcast anymore. We're called the Kickback, baby.
Yeah.
We're going to kick back and we're just going to talk about topics that we love. And it's the same people. It's the same duo. Will the Creative, to my left or my right, depending on which way you're looking at this. And then me, Reggie the Tech. We will be hosting Grumpy Gills Kickback. Because we want to be different. That's why. We just out here. But back to what you were talking about.
Wherever you are.
Yeah, back to what you was talking about.
Yeah, no. So I would definitely be taking vacation, just 2 weeks somewhere, some remote desolate island. I'd be like, give me 20 grand of my money and book a flight, maybe Bora Bora or something like that, and just, you know what I'm saying? And then come back, because it's sad to say this, 100%. Even now, because even us being in the military, we're still looking at as targets in a sense. People always, oh, well, you're in the military, you got money, blah blah blah. I'm like, you probably make more than me.
That's the part that people don't understand. Yeah. It's like, well, you get all these other benefits. Don't get me wrong. Yes, the benefits do add up, to what most people make, but to actually hard count and think about where you stay, a lot of this money doesn't add up in the places that you live in, especially if you bring your family and stuff. They don't consider, what medical is, or, the price of food, because what everybody believes is, there's a commissary on every base, which that isn't true.
That is not true.
That is not true. That is all the time.
Even where I live at, I didn't think that March Air Force Base has a commissary, but they do, but it's not attached to the base anymore because they sold half the base because they share with UPS. So there is a commissary over here, but I would have never known that there was until I happened to go to their base gym. I was like, is there a commissary? Yeah, but it's not a part of the base anymore. And I was like, what? Yeah. But yeah, no, there's a lot of bases that don't actually have a commissary. So,
and even then, when you're looking for, and before people get out and say, oh yeah, you price match and stuff, but a lot of things, most stores that you're looking for specialty things, the commissary doesn't have.
Facts.
So you're still going out in town for the most part, regardless.
Facts. Especially with a bigger commissary. Obviously, we know Norfolk is one of the bigger commissaries. You know what I mean? So they got everything from freaking groceries to jewelry, basically, electronics, all that stuff. But it is, and in San Diego too, they got a pretty decent commissary. But Norfolk by far is probably the best as far as what you're looking for in a commissary, 100%, in my personal opinion. But that's where you do have majority of the Navy sailors. But anyway, it's bad vacation. And then once I sort everything out, I would plan a whole family meeting.
Yeah.
Right? I'd plan a whole family meeting, and I would, to the select members of families that I'm not saying I'm not willing to help out family. And what I'm saying is, to the select members of families I want to help out right away, I'd have a meeting with them. All right, so all right, cool. Boom. This is what we're doing. You don't need to know why, but I do have an extended amount of money, and this is what I'm going to do for you. I'm going to pay off this, give you a zero balance here, so you can have basically reset everybody's life. Right? I know one of the main things I would do.
I agree with it.
Yeah, the main thing I would do, and we've talked about this before, I would put them in a financial literacy class after I zero everything.
I would make that a mandatory thing.
Yeah.
I'll make that a mandatory thing.
And then I think the first thing I would do for myself, though, is I'd pay off my house. Boom. I've paid for it, and now I have, real estate to my name, to my actual name, and then I'd probably find some land somewhere and then build the house, my dream house. You know what I mean? But initially, 2-week vacation right off the bat. Boom, me, Yvette, and Josiah gone. All right, I need to figure this out. Come back once I have my plan. Do what I need to do with my money as far as what I want to do, and then I would have a meeting with the immediate family members that I wanted to help out. That I'd be all right. Hey, look, this is what I want to do. Especially, I'd pay off my parents' house, all their debt. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but
one of the things I agree with it. One of the things I would do probably would be the with the family thing. I do hear the household on both sides. The siblings versus trying to do the kids. Now, unless the aunt or uncle is dead, then yeah, it'll be the oldest for that family. You
oh,
get what
okay,
I'm
I see what you're
saying?
saying. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. So if it's 9 of them and one of them is dead and they got kids in their place, I would use the oldest as that placeholder, as you should in that situation. You
Yeah.
should use the oldest, or if you're not competent or you feel the oldest isn't competent, then you'll go to the next one. But I would set up a trust just for just for the family as a whole in general. So like I said 9 over here, it'll be a family trust under that name, and you would get a certain amount of money every quarter. Because I feel like every quarter would be better versus every month, because the money will run out faster if you do every month.
Yeah. I think for my nieces and nephews that are in Arizona, I would set them up I forgot which one it is, but it's basically for this. I would settle on money for them. I forgot what it's called, but it's like 10 something. But it's just money for them to go to college.
Yeah, I know what you
I
mean. I believe it's the
yeah,
509.
yeah. I would set up something for them for all them able to go to college and then have a
Yeah.
little bit of money afterwards for them once they graduate. Set up something once they graduate. Here's starter money for life. You know what I mean?
But then you got to look at that, because one of the guys I knew, his dad had set him up that, but he didn't plan to go to college or whatever. And he basically took it out and just gave him the money so he would get taxed on that money.
Ouch.
Versus, yeah. Because if you don't
Yeah,
use,
man.
because basically it's used strictly to go to college. And if everybody's not, as we talked about in previous episodes, everybody's not planning to go to college, and you don't have to. You
No, you don't
might
have
want to
to.
get a trade, or you might want to do this. And even then, if he does go to college, it's already paid for.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we got the TA, the GI Bill, and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, and I think that I understand where you come from, but I also want it to be, hey, put something in there saying if you're not going to use this money for college, then you better have a substantial plan before. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just add that check mark. But it's like I think as you get older and you see things, man, everybody has that big dream. Oh man, I hit the big pot and change my life and all that stuff. And I mean, dude, can dreams be reality? Yeah, 100%. I'm not saying it's not impossible to win the lottery or something. There's actually somebody said there's some code they figured out, and there's some mathematician. I guess she's won the lottery 10 times. She's
Good
figured
for
out.
her.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but I think at the end of the day too, it's also as you get older, you think about things. If you win, you're like, if I really win, I need to sit down and actually sort my out, because what I don't want, people always think too, is that I'm just a bag of money. You know what I mean? Now that I got this money, I'm just a bag
Cousins,
of money. I'm
cousins
gonna
and
always,
siblings come
yeah,
out of
like,
the woodwork all of a sudden.
yeah, like
Hey, you remember I changed your diaper that time?
facts,
Nah,
like
bro.
that.
If you changing my diaper, I don't know you. I don't
Yeah,
know who
like,
you are.
yeah, you changed my diaper. I technically never met you. You just changed my diaper. You know what I mean?
Changed
Like,
my diaper.
what are you talking about? So those are all things that I 100% would sit down and do. The trip, sit down and discuss everything with my wife. Hey, all right, what do we want to do? These are the things I want to do. What do you think? Because there are some family I really want to help. Dude, I remember, not actually because they did anything for me. Just I got mad love for them. So especially my little cousin Cyan, I would have definitely, and all her brothers and sisters and all my cousins, so I would definitely do something for them. Right, boom. Whether it's just find the house they live in and get it fixed up so they all live in something. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely do something for them. And then I guess my little brother, I'll do something for him, 100%, help him out. But the first initial stuff would be a family vacation, just me, Yvette and Josiah, figuring out what we're gonna do, and then who we're gonna help after that.
Oh yeah, 110%. Going on a
Yeah.
straight vacation probably disappeared for a good little bit. Because I said this once when I was talking to somebody else about this. Because I know you and we've talked about this multiple times. I said this to somebody else. I would find a financial counselor, which I already have one. I would definitely give them a lump sum. Is that gonna teeter them from stealing from me? Because that's what happens majority of the time for most people. They get robbed and stuff like that. Is that hopefully by giving them a lump sum, because the people that work for you, if you give them some of the money and basically, guess what? I won't have to worry about, hey man, I'm paying you $5 million to take care of this, and I'm trusting you not to rob me. So I'm taking that chance. So I'm already investing you, so you don't have to be, well, I'm I'm making 60 to 100,000 a year, and I'm working on all these big accounts. If I give you $5 million right now, hey, look, I need you to work a plan for me. This is $5 million for you. Probably include bonuses every year if you keep making me money and stuff. That make it an incentive contract, the NFL or the MLB. You hit so many home runs, you get a bonus, right?
Yeah.
So
I think too, I do feel the things that we stirred away from are really what's crippling us as a society too. We didn't even teach, how to manage a checkbook and all that stuff anymore. All
yeah,
that stuff is, so it's people, I do remember doing all that stuff when I was in school, but people just, you get so comfortable just swiping your card and not really, there's no checks and balances. Just
looking at your account.
yeah.
The first time you look at your account sometimes is when declined.
Yeah, wait, what are you
What?
talking about? Are you being lying? But yeah, you put that back. Oh, we got enough of this. You know what I mean? So it's the little things that we grew up on. They don't teach anymore. So it's what do how you like, so it is pretty much incumbent upon you as as an adult raising as an adult parent raising your children. Sorry,
I
right?
mean,
To start teaching your kids financial literacy because it's in a different form now. We don't really, I don't think anybody writes checks anymore. Realistically, I haven't seen anybody write a check in
no.
years. And I'm not saying it does. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I'm just saying I personally haven't seen it done in years. I haven't seen anybody sit out, bust a checkbook, and write a check.
Spell out words, writing cursive at the bottom.
Dude, they don't even teach that stuff in school anymore. So that's what's crazy. So kids don't even know how to sign their own name.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is what I talked about, and you mentioned it already, is the whole putting everybody into a financial literacy course, because that's not going to change. That's going to be a mandatory thing. If you didn't go to school, if you didn't go to school for finance or working on finance, then yes, you need to go to a course, because in most family households, people don't grow up talking about money, because money is a taboo thing to talk about. We shouldn't talk about how much is in someone's bank account. We don't know how to do that. We don't know how to save properly. One of the things my dad always told me when I started working, and one of my first jobs was mowing lawns and stuff, he basically said, you need to pay yourself first. And he's like, however much that is, you put money in the savings, you do your tithes and stuff there. But the first person you need to pay yourself. Because if you're taking all your money and doing it amongst bills or going to spend it on random stuff and you're not paying yourself, at the end of the day, what were you doing it for? You're not getting a check. You have nothing. When you look at your bank account and you have zero
Bucks
and nothing in savings because you didn't pay yourself, then what was the whole point?
Bucks.
Even if you're working, if you're living paycheck to paycheck, putting $1 aside to start off for yourself is still a good thing.
I think some people are so worried about wanting to keep up with the Kardashians, I think that they just don't even care. And it'd be different the way I see it too. It's okay if you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're at least paying all your bills and you're trying to do something. You're trying to start your business or use your extra money to, work on your business and stuff that I get it. But if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you're not trying to do anything, then what are you doing? You know what I'm saying? That's what blows my mind is understanding. I'm like, dude, you're living paycheck to paycheck, but you're freaking buying weed every paycheck and talk about I ain't got no money.
Yeah.
What is the point?
Your priorities are messed up.
Yeah, I respect somebody who's living paycheck to paycheck, but no, man, I'm using this extra money. I'm trying to get my own business started. I'm doing this. I'm investing here and all that stuff. So I'm struggling, but my bills are paid. I have a roof over my head. I have groceries, but this extra money I'm using to do this. I'm all right, cool. That makes sense, right? I'm not knocking your hustle. You're trying to break off so you don't have to live paycheck to paycheck, but you have to sacrifice living paycheck to paycheck because you're trying to create something for yourself so you don't have to. So I understand it. But when it's just, I just use my extra money to buy weed and booze or, you're not even doing anything. It's like, what's the point of living paycheck to paycheck, bro? Start putting money away for yourself,
Yeah. You got to start doing something. You got to start somewhere. and it hurts a lot of the time. It does hurt.
No,
But
it
yeah,
does.
100%, I would make my nieces and nephews and whoever I give money to, like, hey, I would recommend you go through a financial course, but it's gonna be mandatory for my nieces and nephews for sure, and my sisters and my mom, because once again, it's about making this money last. It's about
Yeah,
making this generational changing money. And some people, as we already talked about, it would just be easier just to zero out their balances
yeah,
and not
like
even
that.
tell them until you do it. Because you can always look up the somebody's debt and be okay, cool. You can buy somebody's debt, literally.
Yeah, and you
You can
cannot do wrong.
literally buy somebody's debt and clear it out. It'll be up to you to zeroize it and get it out the way. And that'll be another thing that'll show you what people will do with money. Because you can be, hey, yo, why you didn't give me money? Well, I cleared out all the debt that you have.
Yeah,
So now you're
even
basically
your
starting at
positive.
zero and you're doing this. And if they get mad at you for doing that, that lets you know that they weren't willing to already spend that money to clear their debt. They were going to spend that money on something else.
Facts.
They were going to spend that money
Because
on literally
because you could
something
even
else.
click their positive debt, which is like to me, your positive debt's like your car payment stuff
Yeah,
that you have to continue to pay on. Like you cleared on all their debt, and they're still like, yo, what the like, dog? You have no payments now. No, all you gotta do is pay for a cell phone and your rent or whatever
that's
case
it.
may have you. Like you have no negative debt. Your car's paid off. Here's the title to your car, all this other stuff, and you're mad because I didn't give you money. Like, bro, what the? Yeah, no, I get like, and it's you. It's awful too. Can you also blame them because it's that young mentality. Well, I could have used that money for something else, but like realistically, you ask them what were you going to use it for, and they tell you, dude, I was like, what? It's not even worth it. It's not even worth the fight for me to even like, dude, look here. I'm not going to give you any more money. This is it. This is all you're going to
Yeah,
get. Whatever you
this is
do
what
from
it is.
here on out, just is up to you.
Yeah.
Maybe if you would have gave me a different response and like you would have been, I'd be all right. Hey, I got something else set up for you, but you got to do X, Y, and Z, and this money will come to you. But you just showed me your hand. Like I gave you what people would like, and this, like, and here's why I say this is I just found this out. I didn't know that you could do this. Well, I knew you could buy debt when you buy a home loan. Like you could buy your own debt when you get a home loan and put it into your house payment. But I didn't know you could do that with student loans too,
Mm-hmm.
to pay your student loans off.
Yeah.
And so I was like, there's people who have student loans damn near their whole life, even when owning a house, being successful, all this stuff. And you don't have none of that stuff yet. And I gave you a great head start in life. And you're still being ungrateful. Like that's crazy to me. That's not just like you need to go do spiritual work. You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
how I look at it,
And another thing that I would require too is basically for like my nieces and nephews specifically is that they would have to have a job or they would
Yeah.
have to go to school or I'm not saying you have to go to a university or whatever because once again we already stated college is not for everyone. Go do a trade or if you want to start a business, that's something to sit through with sit you down with a financial counselor or sit you down with an entrepreneur to get business sense and get it started. But you would have to be doing something to get this money every month or every quarter, however it's set up.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, the way I look at it as is if you got money coming in, guess what? If you got more money coming in than coming out, you'll be fine and you'll understand that. But if you're just out there as we just stated about just sliding your card, you'll never know where your money's going and you'll never
Right.
know how to once again, because they don't teach this in school anymore, unless you go to college or unless you go to some economics course outside of school and stuff, would be how to do your balance your checkbook or look and see what you're spending on, where most of your costs at. And somebody's going to jump in and be, oh, well, we got apps for that. Great. Cool. And a lot of those apps you have to pay for to tell you, oh, yeah, you're paying for two of these accounts, or where most of your money is spent at is on food,
Yeah. So
ordering out.
maybe federal actually has something like that now that you can sign. It's called the Making Sense that you can
Yeah.
sign up for and it's free instead of having to pay for it. But and I don't know if you ever experience, you probably have because you were an instructor billet as I was too. You ever come back after a long weekend and listen to your student talk, and then they'd be like, man,
110%.
and then
I
they'd
had
be like,
that. I had that with junior sailors as well.
yeah. So it's
I had
like
that
then
with
they come
junior
back
sailors as well.
and they'd be like, man, I'm scared to check my account. Yeah, you already back end up like
You just sitting there like,
you already blew through that whole paycheck. Like,
how did you go through?
Yeah.
Well, what would it be for like an E4 or E3, like $1,200? How did you?
Yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong. In the sense of looking in the scheme of things, sometimes $1,200 isn't a lot to a lot of people, but $1,200 is still a lot of money
For an
So
18-year-old. Yeah.
Yeah, but the question is like, what do you, oh man, you don't understand. We're popping bottles. So you spend your whole $1,200 at a bar. Yeah, I'm good. I'm gonna eat ramen all till next paycheck.
Facts. Are they what why you it's the weekend, why are you on the boat?
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, I'm not perfect, bro. I mean, I had my moments when I was young, seeing
Oh
shit,
yeah,
right?
I've had
Like,
I've
yeah,
had my card declined a few
yeah,
times in my young
but
sailor days.
it's like hopefully you actually start listening to the OG sailors and be like, hey man, like get your together while you're young, so you don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like just as of recently, I found out of something about somebody, and I was wow, that's crazy work. So let's just put it this way: that this person they started a what are those things called? I don't want to say too much, but they started a GoFundMe.
Okay.
Right? I don't want to say too much, but there's a lot more behind it, and it just to me, I'm okay if you're this far into the military, this high up, and I'm not saying like look, everybody got their own story, everybody you know, we'll do whatever you like, but it's like you shouldn't be with the extra rank and shooting 8 balls and not be at that point in your career at almost 20 plus years in the game. But teach you, man. I understand.
Well, the way I look at it, once again, it doesn't matter how old or young you are. If you and this is why we keep preaching about financial literacy, going to see a financial counselor, going to see someone who is financially savvy, that has actual credentials, somebody that went to school, that did this. That I'm not saying they have years and years under their belt, but years and years under their belt would be better than, hey, I just graduated yesterday, so I'm gonna tell you all the cool stuff. No, once again, I've seen that more than that. I've seen that more among older people, especially when I was coming in the beginning when we were coming in. I've seen that amongst older people why they went past the 20. Because in my original first command, I don't even know how this guy retired, how this one chief retired, because he was like, yeah, I've been married 5 times. It was a badge of honor or something. And I'm like, bro, what?
Yeah, we did come in during that weird time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you try to figure out like how some of these people are preaching to junior sailors and preaching to other people's like, hey, you don't want to do this. And you understand why now most people are staying in longer, are trying, are fighting to stay in, when it's like, hey, yo, I don't got this, and or I'm turned upside down on this house, on this property. Are you always see them, like you said, on the boat every day? Don't get me wrong, we pay for these meals. I would eat too, but in port it's different because you're trying to go home.
Yeah.
You know, you're not trying to stay there all day.
100%.
But
I mean,
that's why you see certain people, when they don't bring their families with them to every command, they're willing to live in the RV. They're willing to have that financial discipline to basically build up and sacrifice certain things of spending money on going out to eat, or spending money every weekend going out. Because that's, that money does add up.
yeah, it does. I think also too is just like you grow up when you grow up, right? And then whether you want to figure it out or not. I also think that like you talk about the dude that was married 5 times. All right, it's like when the point like, all right, maybe I'm not meant to be married, or like you know what I'm saying? Like what else? Because it like I'm also thinking the details behind that. I'm like, bro, what if he's had a kid with every wife? Now that's child support, all this money, that's you know what I'm saying. But I like I said, we also came in during a time where you would see second classes retire, and I'm looking at second class. I'm like, dang, bro, that's like $1,700 a month, dog.
Hey,
Hey,
some people you can't be mad at. Some people they
yeah,
just come in, they want to do the job and keep it at that level. They don't want to
yeah,
really be in charge of people. And to me, there's nothing wrong with it. If you want to stay at that rank, you can stay at that rank and keep it moving.
yeah. I mean, and then I don't know. I also remember some people were just stuck at that rank because they didn't want to take care of themselves.
Yeah,
With you know what I'm
there's
saying?
that
So it
too.
was, yeah, it was a different time, but it is what it is. I don't know. Overall, though, I think going back to where we start, you kind of have persuaded me. Like maybe I'll take the largest lump sum.
Yeah, take the lump
You
sum
know what I'm saying? And it's still, because at the end of the day, yeah, it's still gonna be life changing money. Even if it was right, if it was $1 million, you're still gonna
after
get
taxes.
after
After taxes,
taxes.
a million,
Yeah, you
million still a
still get
million.
life. And people sleep on that. Like yo, I only hit for a meal. Like bro, you still getting life changing money, dog.
Yeah,
Hell, 50 grand is life changing money for some people. So like, you won 50 grand. Like that's still life changing money. That's more money that you've ever had at one time, right? Like vice, you working your whole lifetime to try and save. Like now you got, you know what I'm saying? Like people don't even think about that. Like,
yeah,
bro, now you just got to move smartly with that money so you don't go back to a
okay.
certain place in your life. People don't
And
understand that, but
that's the crazy part where lottery winners fail it is because a lot of people lose their money. What they say in the first 3 to 5 years, they spend
yeah,
all their money, and which is crazy to me because I couldn't think of anything to be. I'm gonna blow this money in the first 3 to 5 years, but then when you find out what it is bad investments into every family's business or every friend's business. Don't get me
yeah,
wrong. At the end of the day, I agree with you. Take that 2 week vacation, sit back and think about certain things. And guess what? You're probably going to lose a lot of friends. You're probably going to lose a lot of family members that were probably, hey, team you because they thought they were going to get a payment as well because, oh, you came up, I came up. And
not
at the
always
end
how
of
it
the
works,
day,
man.
values change. And it's not saying people change. It is literally I didn't change from the jump. I
Yeah,
already know you as a person, so I'm gonna do you this favor. Is basically I'm gonna pay off your debt for you. That's it, and you can go from there. And what you do with that is up to you. Am I gonna invest in businesses with family? It's gonna be a contract.
yeah,
It's going to be 110%. There's going to be a contract involved because that's
no,
the only
100%.
way this is going to work. Because if you have the thought process of, oh, yeah, I'm going to bail you out when the business starts failing, no, that's why I'm always careful about who I co-sign for because you're not about to put my name down and I'll be on the hook when you don't want to pay the bill.
Like even now, like started and getting anchored and COVID and getting athletes. I'm not really making any money off this, but I do want to do a contract saying, hey, you'll at least post this many times. You
Yeah,
know, it hasn't like I'm at the end of the day, we got to keep a professional stake here. Like, yeah, your family, I got love for you. I'm hooking you up. Like you know what I'm saying? But this still needs to happen because I am trying to grow something. I'm doing something. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So and it is like it's all, which actually works out perfectly. So my athletes should be over this weekend because we got to discuss some business. But other than that, man, overall, I do agree with you. The lump sum does sound a lot better, kind of speaking on it more. And that's what I do, man. Just make sure I have my ducks in a row, take my vacation, get everything in order, and then come back and then do what me and the family had discussed doing. But yeah, man, for some reason though, I always still think like I've always like in the back of my head, I'm gonna win the lottery. I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'm gonna win
Yeah.
it.
And
you
no,
know,
I believe
I,
that too.
you know what I'm
I
saying?
believe wholeheartedly I'm gonna win the lottery as
Yeah,
well. And
yeah.
even
Like,
to
or,
add
but
to what you're talking about, once you give that money out or clear debt, guess what? We're signing a contract on that too. That
yeah,
there will be no more ask for money.
yeah. Like I helped you out.
If I give you
But
this
then,
lump sum or I pay off your debt, what happens after that is on you. And please, here you go. Here, sign this contract. If you don't want to sign this contract,
shit,
either
contracts,
way,
contracts and NDAs will be a must
yeah.
because either way the cut goes, even if you don't want to do that stuff, So you turn around and be like, no, I don't want to give you this money. So now they're going to try and find some way to scheme and try and get you out of that money by just like, oh, well, you hit me and I fell in your house and blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? It's all types of stuff and it's sad to say that, bro. It's sad to say that.
It is.
People don't have some people just don't have good spirited. They're not good spirited people, bro. And they don't know how to admit that to themselves. And it is what it is. I mean, everybody goes through their own trials and tribulations in life, but there's got to be a point where like, yo, like I got to stop being this type of person because at the end of the day, it's got me nothing. You know what I'm saying? So,
because I'm at the age of, I'm not trying to keep up with the Kardashians. And even then, when I hit my 30s, I realized something. I'm not trying to keep up with the Joneses.
facts.
Right?
I'm just trying to keep it.
I'm just trying to keep up with me.
That's
I'm
it.
trying to keep up with me. I ever win the lotto. When I win the lotto, whatever it be, the actual lottery or I win a large sum of money in the millions or billions, the person I'm trying to keep up with is with me. I'm going to do the things that I want to do for my childhood self and ensure that large fixings of money and people that I want to take care of will be the first people in line to take care of first.
Facts.
And then everyone else after that. And I will operate this like Shaq does with his family. I will only invest in you if you come to me with a real business pitch.
Yeah.
And it is financially going to make money. Don't get me wrong, certain things don't make it take 6 months to a year to make money. So it's not going to be a turn down automatically. But if you're coming to me like, hey, I need you to invest in this, okay, cool. So what does the finances look like? What is the loss and gain on this?
Well, if since you were putting everybody in financial literacy class, be like, hey, make sure you ask the questions about, learning how to build a business plan.
Yeah.
Because if you want to keep continuing this type of relationship, those are things you're going to need, tools you're going to need for me to be able to be, all right, yeah, I support you. You got to solve business plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because even then, if I'm not supporting you financially, I can always support you and put you in contact with somebody else that's in the network that I know might be in line or wanting to invest in that. So you're not pitching this just to me. You're going to pitch this to a better person that is suited to help you with this. So if you can't pitch this to me or willing to pitch this to me, then how are you going to willingly pitch this to someone else who would probably want to invest in this, who knows more about this?
Nah, I mean, yeah, actually.
That's what it comes down to.
And the sad part
out of business.
Out of all of it, as much as they may hate you doing it, it's for the betterment of the greater good that you're making them a better person where they want to see it or not.
Yeah.
So.
And with that being said, this is the end of the newly named Grumpy Gills Kickbacks. I am Reggie the Tech and Will the Creative. Share, subscribe. As always, thank y'all for showing up, showing us love. Grumpy Gills Kickbacks, kicking it out to the streets.
Come back and kick it with Grumpy Gills. Love, peace, chicken grease. Peace.
That works too.